So hey, how are you? Uh, whew, what a day it is so far. Actually, what a week it has been, really. So I don't even know what day it is related to when I first started doing the RV thing. So I still haven't picked it up. Um, I think it was today is Thursday. I think it was 4 days ago that I bought it. I can't remember what day it was, but I'm supposed to go get it today. Uh, They're supposed to tow it out to where I'm at, which is near downtown LA. I gotta find a spot for it, and that's stressing me out really. I just assumed I'd be able to find a spot, honestly, but I'm running into this sort of community hostility, which we're going to talk about more, against RVers, um, which then translate into the city's hostility, right? Even though the city is having a housing crisis, the city is so schizophrenic, honestly. It is. I mean, it's having one of the worst housing crises in the whole country, but yet they do this schizophrenic thing where they want to be like against like poor people, against homeless people, against people who want to live alternative ways, like in RVs or tents or whatever. But yet they only want to build luxury housing. The average apartment here for a studio is $1,000. I mean, the average person's paying over half their income towards rent. It's like, there was a guy who volunteered to build tiny houses for homeless people, and the city confiscated them. So there's this weird kind of thing going on, which the conclusion, the mayor says, "Oh, I want to help. We're going to put all this money into, housing," but there's no help really for anyone. I mean, God forbid you end up on the street here, you end up evicted, and you have no resources. You are screwed. That's why I say have an RV as a fallback. It'll buy you it'll get rid of the edge, take the edge off of the whole situation. Might be cramped, a little uncomfortable, but at least you have a place to sleep a little bit, right? While you figure out things. Yeah. So, or maybe it's a more diabolical conspiracy going on where, because, where it's actually an evil plan to kind of corral people into being indentured servants. So, if you end up evicted or have to leave your apartment or lose your lease, or for whatever reason they raise the rent, you have to move, and you don't have resources to get a new apartment, or you can't afford it, you lose your job, whatever, then you're kind of forced into this system out of desperation and fear. And maybe they want that. Maybe that's what they want. Maybe the elites at the top who own all the real estate want everyone who doesn't to be their slaves. Like, that could be. Because, the city hall, the campaigns for councilmen and the mayor, I mean, the big money people here in LA are basically real estate developers and Hollywood bigwigs, and, that's pretty much it. Like, and there's 12 million people here, so, but anyway, I don't think that's the case. I think the city's just confused, honestly. I think everyone, there's a lot of people trying. I think a lot of people making decisions don't really understand what it's like on the other levels, the lower levels of society. We call it lower levels, fine, whatever. So back to my situation. There's a residential area. I was seeing the parking over there. It's very crowded. Every time I talk to someone, they're like, "Oh no, not here. But they'll tow it," as if you have no rights. But then I realized that I said, "Oh, could I park? I just want to park my RV here." I wasn't planning on living in it over there, but I just need a place to park it. This fear comes over them. It's like, "Oh my God, some crazy dude with an RV is going to park it in front of my apartment." Like, and I get that fear, if they have kids and stuff. There's a stigma with RVs. I think YouTube is starting to break that stigma, because we're starting to see what it's like from the inside. And that's not to say that there aren't crazy people, child molesters, what do you call them? People, because a lot of people, ex-cons, drug people. There's a lot of bad people in RVs too. Like, it's not all this like utopian thing, right? But a lot of people in this city are doing that lifestyle because they have no other. Okay, we all have choices, but they don't want to pay too much for, in a traditional apartment or house or whatever. They don't want to pay $1 million, $500,000 for a house in LA, or $2,000-3,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment, you know. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. But anyway, I'm stressing about where to park this thing. So I'm about to go get it. I'm about to go meet the guy, and you know, we're gonna tow it over here. It's way out. It's like 20 minutes from here in this industrial area right now. We're gonna tow it. That's the plan anyway. I don't know if that plan will happen. We're either gonna tow it or I'm gonna try to drive it out here, and I gotta find a place to park it. Now I found this place kind of back. There's an industrial zone kind of not far from here, and you know, it looks like there's plenty of spots to park it over there. Yesterday at the DMV, I saw a really good spot near the freeway. But the problem is, it's like if you park it in an industrial zone and there's no one else around, then I have a fear that someone would break into it, right? Like someone could easily just walk into it and break into it. No one's around. Like they could do whatever they want. They could strip it of everything, steal everything, trash it. I wouldn't be there to know. And then if I park it in a residential area, people get all freaked out and they call the police and they tow it away. So it's like it's either it's going to get broken into or towed away. So I feel like the best solution is to, you know, find a private place, someone with some private property who will let me park it on their property. But I haven't been able to find that yet. So that's what I'm looking for. So anyway, that's where we are right now. I'll talk to you soon.